Hi, welcome to our show.
Well, hi, everybody!
Coming to you somewhat live and semi-weekly from the Quad M World Headquarters located in Helena's scenic North Valley. This is the Quad M Show. We are your hosts. I am TJ.
Andy Mcnamara.
Yes, kids. Once again, Andy, by the goodwill that is Andy, is sitting in for another episode. Unfortunately, Jason couldn't make it this week, so we're bringing the funny again,
Dude. Yeah, man. Plus, I was hanging out at home, so I have nothing going on anymore. I have no life.
Well, I guess that answers the question of how's it going? How was your week?
Oh yeah, long work week, man. I seriously was like so close to being like, dude, I'm sorry, I'm so tired. But Rockstar's starting to kick in, and I'll probably be up until 4 a.m. again.
That's awesome. I got another show idea, TJ. Let's go ahead and record.
I know. I'll be calling Devin after this. Like, dude, we need to record.
Throw this in the mix.
Yeah, I got some inspiration, man. Luckily, this time around, my stomach's not making noises. So
yeah, well, you know, from a healthy diet.
Yeah, dude, gosh,
that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah. Did you pick that up, by the way, last time? Do you know if it...
Oh, no, it came through.
Did it?
Oh, yeah.
My stomach...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh, that was rough.
You know, our mutual friend Martin, he was listening to that episode when he was cleaning his house. He about pissed himself.
Really? Yeah, my stomach was... Yeah, that was rough, man. I'm going to have to owe my landlord more money after he finds out what I did to the toilet after that night, man. That was rough.
I was going to say, was there an emergency septic cleaning that
Dude,
took place
yeah,
after?
it's like when you drove me home that night, I was like sweating and stuff like that, and I was like, I can't... You're like trying to have a conversation with me, and I felt bad because I wasn't talking to you, and I was like, yeah, I know. I was trying to focus, man. I didn't want to have to clean out your car after I shat my pants.
That's some excellent internal pressure you got there, son.
No, dude, I was struggling big time.
So when I shot you the text and I begged and pleaded for you to come in and sub, you said you had yourself a great little ghost story or something that was going on.
No, man. Like, I've been listening to... I don't like promoting other podcasts, especially ones in the state, because we all tend to shit on each other.
As a quick aside, I don't, because I think you are the only other podcast
I know you're the only one that we talk about. But if you go on certain websites and you can find the podcast in Montana, there's one. Again, I'm not gonna name them.
Oh, go ahead.
It's like the Montana Paranormal Podcast or whatever.
Oh, so a bunch of ghost hunter wannabe wackos.
Pretty much.
Gotcha,
They watch the Ghost Hunter show, and you know they have a bunch of EVPs of their. I don't know. I don't know, man. Anyway, they were talking. This was. I decided to tune in one time because I follow them on Twitter or whatever, and they were talking about. They were looking at they were doing something about 2-3 years ago on a house, and it was next to the Capitol, which where I live. And they were seeing stuff, hearing stuff, cabinets were opening. All of a sudden, it sounds like almost like they were describing like the place I live at.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there going, "Oh, you're fucking kidding me." And I'm a big wimp anyway, so like I can't, like I'm like sitting there like listening to this at night playing video games, and I'm like, this is bullshit. So it comes down to it. I don't remember this, but I'm like, I went to go get water or something, come back. One of my cabinet doors was open.
Okay.
There was no reason for me to go into that cabinet. I'm sitting there, I was like, oh, God damn, dude, no joke. Like, I haven't slept for like the past 2 weeks because of this whole entire thing. I'm sleeping with like lights on and stuff like that, just going into dark rooms, throwing punches. It's been a rough few weeks, man. So that came to. Do you have any, like? I mean, I don't think I believe in that stuff, but when you're alone, your mind starts playing tricks on you.
Like, do I believe in like ghosts and supernatural?
Or do you have any stories of that type of thing?
Well, I mean, not when it comes, specifically to that type of genre-ish type deal. I do believe in psychic phenomenon. Mm-hmm. Not like fucking, Miss Cleo, put your penis in my business and all that. I don't believe in that horse shit. Because that's like, if you were like fucking, real fucking psychic, why haven't you won the fucking lotto yet? That type of response. But no, I actually had several incidences. And I'm one of those type of people where you pretend I'm from Missouri. Mm-hmm. Show me. I'm the show me state, right? And the reason why I believe in psychic phenomenon is that it has happened to me personally. In that, as a kid growing up, a lot of times I would have, and there's sometimes it happens, to this day, where I will have a song stuck in my head. And I only have the belief system in it because it's like obscure shit that honestly probably hasn't been played on a fucking radio in years, type of a thing. And I would have situations where a song is in my head within a half hour of turning on the radio or turning on MTV back when MTV played fucking music videos and shit.
Instead of Teen Mom.
Right. The shit would be either on the radio or on MTV or whatever. So there were instances like that. Those little tiny instances that would kind of generate it and kind of made me start believing that this stuff can actually happen, does actually happen. The weirdest one, the strongest one that made me a believer in this, I think I was like a sophomore or a junior in high school. And a friend of mine, apparently, I just had no poker face regarding this. But something was just kind of nagging at me. And he says, "Hey, what's up? What's wrong? You're looking a little off. You're not your usual jovial, happy-go-lucky self. What's going on, dude?" And he says, I don't know. I just have this impending feeling that something bad is going to happen to our friends. Mm-hmm. Don't know how many, don't know who specifically, but I just have this nasty, just gut feeling something is going to happen. And he says, well, don't worry about it. Give it a couple days. If something happens, holy shit.
Yeah.
If nothing happens, don't worry about it. 2 days later, 6 of our friends were in a truck and ended up getting into a car wreck out on Park Lake.
Oh, shit.
Which for you kids out there, it's, outside of town, windy roads and all this type of shit. And they had come off, they were rounding a corner, going too fast because he'd hit teenage drivers. That's what we do in Montana. And they go rolling down the hill, trucks doing the roll. One kid got his leg, I think his leg broke in 2 places. Damaged shoulder. Another a female friend of mine got her sternum broke. Another kid. I mean, nobody died, but there was a lot of bumps, bruises, and broken bones.
Yeah.
But and so it was one of those deals where after it happened, word comes around. We just kind of look at each other and go, holy shit. And that was where my thoughts, regarding like say psychic phenomenon, I am a believer in. Mm-hmm. Ghosts and the afterlife.
See, we're not allowed to talk about afterlife stuff on our show because that always leads to controversy. And I get emails saying, you're a scumbag and piece of shit.
Okay. Why? Because you do and they don't, or what?
We don't talk about religion mainly because a lot of people do get pissed off in the sense of, what's your definition of religion? There's a heaven and hell, and there's a afterlife, and then, especially 2 years after my mom passed away, people are going to be like, well, what do you think happened? I'm like, I don't want, because it always ends up. It's like talking politics.
Yeah, exactly. It's the prime direct, the 3 prime directives of dinner time discussion. No politics, no religion, no ex-girlfriends.
Exactly.
You know, and if you got that, you're good to go.
Exactly. And everyone wants to talk about, you know, oh, well, you're wrong on this level because the Bible says this, and, you know, Democrat, well, you're wrong for voting for Trump because XYZ, and, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I just voted for Trump because I thought it'd be funny, and then he ended up winning, and I was like, shit, this isn't funny anymore. The joke's on me.
Well, you know, we don't get too political on this show. I think we've only done it once, and that was like right after the election happened.
Oh,
you know.
Yeah, dude. I think next election we're gonna do a full-on podcast where we all just sit down, watch the election, see who's gonna win. I want to do that so bad.
Well, you know, and it was my dream and my hope that shit would stop after the elections were over on like, I don't go on Facebook anymore. I really don't. I will, you know, go on there and I will post and, you know, promote the hell out of the show. And then once issue number 4 of Enigma comes out, I will promote and post and, you know, just barrage people with buy the book. But beyond that, I mean, shit, you got your crazed fucking liberals that are, you know, out there just lambasting, oh, he's doing away with everything that's trying to help the people. I mean, what the hell's the most recent one besides the fucking wall? Like, oh,
he just banned
something about the green
Iranians
cards
today, wasn't it?
I heard something about green, you know, like the green card, so all the pot smokers are all up in arms, and you know, there's probably something, you know, regarding that, and of course they're well, he's not banning the countries that his business is involved in, and it's like, you know, just stop. And then you've got the other side, you know, the uber crazed right wingers,
Yeah.
that are, you know, whooping it up and, you know, playing the well, you're wrong because of this, and it's just it's so, you know. So
Yeah.
thank God I got ear posts to at least, you know, wash the taste out of my mouth on all that bullshit.
Yeah, no, I can't. You know, that's one thing when, you know, writing the jokes I do on Facebook and stuff like that. I'll try making it so no one really understands, like, if I am Democrat or Republican, because I really don't give a shit.
Well, yeah.
And
yeah.
You know what? If she won, we'd all be pissed off about something. He won, everyone's still pissed off about something. You know, it really doesn't make a difference to me who's president. I know for the next 8 years we're going to be screwed either way. So
well, yeah, you know, and that's not because of a president. That's because of our society.
Oh yeah,
you know, because everyone is just so damn divisive.
Yep.
And it's nah, you know, I just do away with the whole shitting thing.
Because just like, you know, not to get political, but just like he's going to get rid of Obamacare, whoever's the next president is, if they disagreed with the wall's going to come down in fucking 8 years anyway. So.
Right. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, I just, you know, man, as long as Pornhub's there, I'm okay.
I mean, come on, man. Come on, Pornhub and whatever else. Not that I look into any of that, but
no,
not
at all. Not at all.
Exactly, man. I'm a subscriber. I pay the $30, man. I don't need that free stuff.
Oh, good Lord. I would never pay for porn.
Me neither.
You're wrong. You are wrong. You damn deviant.
Just get into if I ever run for president, they're going to pull this up and be like, God, he pays for his porn. He's a good dude. We should vote for him.
And see the left would lambaste you. What the hell are you doing paying for porn, you moron? And the right would be like, you degenerate.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can't fucking win for losing, man.
You really can't, man.
So I'll just continue to, you know, like I say, post and promote the show and throw out stupid fucking Star Wars memes that make me giggle.
Yeah.
I went through a week where it was just like one a day.
Yeah, I can't get into Star Wars. I know all you nerds are into it, but like I could watch the older one. It's like, oh, that's cool, and I ride the ride at Disneyland. That's about it. But other than that, that's as far as Star Wars goes for me. George Lucas to me is Indiana Jones. That's about it. So
Well, and as much as much as the originals were great and the prequels sucked, dude, Indiana Jones has his too with that fucking crystal skulls.
That's why we don't think about that
We
one.
don't
There's only
discuss
3
that
of
one.
them.
There's a trilogy, damn it.
Yeah, that's why the movie was called Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. He didn't go on any more adventures after that.
Yeah. Well, Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter. See how that worked for him.
Well, the final chapter. But, dude, then they went to space, so it starts all over again.
Yeah,
so
and
it
the
doesn't
one,
really count.
And the one before the space was the final Friday. Like twice they gave us this is the end, and they still lied.
Then they made a remake 10 years ago, didn't they?
Which wasn't bad.
I don't remember it.
You had the Jared Padalecki from Supernatural in it, and basically what they did was they kind of took the 4 films and just kind of mushed them all up into one, and it actually worked. Unlike, did you ever watch The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
No.
Some people fucking love that movie. I hate it because they went the whole wrong way. But that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah, I don't remember the last. I know I went and saw it in theaters, and I remember the girl I went with. She touched my leg, and I was all like, "Oh, this is it."
Giddy.
Yeah, I was like, "This is it." Paid $15 for a girl to touch my leg. This is awesome.
Did she touch anything else by the end of the night?
Oh no!
No, damn.
No, I don't think so.
I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah, I think she touched her pepper spray on the way out or something. I don't know.
For the last month, as a fan of the wrestling, which you are, that's a strong common bond you and I have there. You're familiar with Diamond Dallas Page?
Absolutely. He was the bad guy in one of my favorite movies of all time, Ready to Rumble.
Ready to Rumble.
Oh, dude, I love that movie. I don't know why. Dude, there's me and my co-host Devin are pretty much the only 2 people in this whole entire world that love that movie. And believe it or not, we actually I saw him today. He actually quoted the movie because I did the diamond and I put it upside down. He's like, "Diamond upside down is a pussy." I was like,
Dude, let's be honest here. Because of that fucking movie, they put the belt on David Arquette.
Hey, listen, we all made mistakes in life.
Yeah, nah.
And that's Vince Russo being a retard.
Being a fucking moron.
Yeah, I understand they were trying to promote a movie, but that was the worst thing they could have done.
I really wish that I had the foresight after I was done with my wrestling career to try to start a promotion, an indie promotion out here. Because I would really like to see the industry take a step back to the old territory days with good story angles, good writing, good solid booking. The stories are told in the ring. It's not all backstage vignettes. Because the shit that fucking Vince Russo threw out, he is just, you look at his track record, just shitty wrestling booking all the way through.
Oh yeah.
And it's even now, WWE, it's all fucking, Hollywood writers. We managed to get one of the head writers from David Letterman to what?
Oh, they got Freddie Prinze Jr. still, don't they?
I don't know if he's still writing for him or not.
I can't remember. I know he was writing for a while.
And to me that's ridiculous. You have fucking wrestling guys who know wrestling, and know how to put together a match and can book out for, 6 months as opposed to fucking week to week. That's why I don't watch it anymore.
Yeah. Gosh, I can't remember the last time I watched it. I'll tell you, one of my favorite angles was what was it? It would have been 1999, right around WrestleMania 15 when they did the Ministry of Darkness, and then there was the Chosen One, and it turned out to be Vince McMahon.
Right,
and then they turned into the corporate. That was the best,
corporate ministry.
That was the best angle I've ever seen. I was actually really fucking afraid of the Undertaker for the longest time. That was another time. I had to sleep with a nightlight and have the hallway lights on.
That was when they threw Stone Cold up on
they crucified him,
and all that shit. And
had to ask my parents if I could sleep with them. I was like, "Get the hell out of here! You're 13." I was like, "Doesn't matter. Undertaker scares me."
Oh, okay. Greatest wrestling angle for me of all time. Ooh.
And don't be predictable like the Macho Man and the Miss Elizabeth thing. That's stupid. Someone told me that the other day, and I was like, all right, you're retarded.
Oh man. And it's just because there's been so many good ones.
I know my worst one.
Oh, I got some real fucking bad ones. What do you got?
When Mark Henry knocked up the Fabulous Moolah or whatever.
Oh, Mae Young?
Yeah, Mae Young.
No, that was the greatest payoff of all time.
Oh man, she gave
hand.
birth. Yeah, she gave birth to a hand. I was like, what the hell is this?
That was genius.
That's like when she was like all ruckus and showing her like breasts and stuff on.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that Royal Rumble 2000, man. I was like, gross.
Oh shit!
Yeah, she did that in front of Madison Square Garden. For 84 years young, you got to give her props for doing that at that time, man.
You know, that's a payday.
Yeah.
That's a payday right there. That just shows you how much of a fucking twisted dude Vince McMahon is.
Oh, dude.
You know?
And the fact that and then he was making out with Trish Stratus in front of Linda McMahon, too, who's now part of our
the presidential cabinet.
Yeah, a part of our government now.
Well, you know, old Vince, he's just gonna do his power strut right into the White House, and
man, yeah.
You know, you go right in there like, no, sir, you can't. I'm Vince McMahon, damn it.
Dude, yeah, he was awesome, man. Especially when he did that Beyond the Mat.
Oh yeah,
documentary. You could tell he's asshole, and listen to Mick Foley and those guys talk about him. You could tell that's not a character. That's really him.
Oh yeah, and that probably would lead me to. It's one of my favorites, but I think just because of what it did for the industry at that time, I would say the Mr. McMahon angle, and how it initially started off. The only reason that angle started off as it did was because of the whole Montreal screw job. Mm. And, Brett leaving. And, there's some people that, say the entire Montreal screw job was a work. Brett was in on it and all that. Some people don't, whatever. Here again, my time working in the squared circle, I'm a believer in that. Yeah, it was a complete work. Everyone was in on it.
Do you think so?
Let's put it this way. McMahon doesn't allow anything on his TV or his pay-per-views or anything without his own permission. Mm-hmm. Bret Hart doing the big WCW with his finger, with the air thing, that would never have made it to air. Mm-hmm. It would never have been seen. So, to that end, I do believe he was in on it. I believe the whole thing was worked out. Now, I do believe it was because of the fact McMahon, with the situation, he couldn't pay that contract. So, how are we going to fucking, work this? What can we do? Blah, blah, blah. And even if it was a shoot and not a work, it still worked to at least McMahon's advantage, because after that, it then became this whole thing of, Brett screwed Brett and this and that, and how could you do that? And
that like little interview you had with Jim Ross,
right?
And he had that big shiner on his eye,
right? Which that was fucking makeup, because you saw. Did you ever watch the Wrestling with Shadows?
Yeah, I was going to ask you. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got it on VHS, man.
Yeah.
And there was not, that was way played up. That was like like fucking that eyeliner shit that football players put on. And so it all kind of led up to that. And then, if I remember correctly, Austin was still suffering the neck injury from
Owen Hart.
From Owen Hart. Yep. And so McMahon's, playing the we can't have you wrestle. Well, I want to come back in, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Can't have you do it. So then we're building up McMahon as a heel, as the Mr. McMahon heel. And then from that point on, they ran with that for, that was like 97.
Yeah.
And they were pulling that through 2000 to, up until even modern day, he comes out to the ring with the fucking Mr. McMahon moniker and all that type of shit.
Yeah. There was, 98? 99. He was in the Royal Rumble or whatever, too. And I think that's when he had the most heat, is when he was going against, Steve Austin and all that.
Oh, yeah.
And,
but that became like TV viewing, it kicked off that Attitude Era. Mm-hmm. WWE, WWF, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They start winning the Monday Night Wars again. Everybody's tuning in. The card from top to bottom, from opening
Yeah.
bell to closing bell was fantastic. But everybody was tuning in. What is Austin going to do to McMahon? What's McMahon going to do to Austin? And it was just that continual angle, like fucking, the bang gun. When he, make McMahon piss his pants, and just continually down the road. It was just it was a brilliant 3-year primary run with that Austin versus McMahon. I think,
and the day they got it was the finger poke of death or doom or whatever. Was when Shivani went on WCW and was like, "Oh, they're gonna give Mick Foley the
right," and everybody went over to
and everyone's like, "Cool," and then. The title changed hands for WCW that night too. Was
that the finger poke? Was that the same night?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Hulk Hogan poked Kevin Nash.
Oh yeah.
Laid on him, won the title. It was the exact same night.
Oh shit!
And that's when everything switched hands, and that's when WWF took off at that time.
Oh yeah. It's one of my biggest problems is the fact that like from like 98 to 2000, it becomes a blur. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of coincides with me turning 21. Mm-hmm. So maybe there might have been a little bit to do with that as well.
Yeah. In 98, 2000, I was 10, 11, so I was a prime. And,
Yeah, see, there you go.
I love U.S. history. Ask me anything about U.S. history. I probably can't tell you, but ask me anything about the WWE Attitude Era. Whatever you want to know, I'll tell you.
Oh, sure. Well, and see,
I think we're all kind of wired that way, all of us that watched it in that era.
Well, and it's no different than, as a kid growing up. I started in about 88, 89. I think the first pay-per-view, it was the Royal Rumble of 89 was right around the time when I started getting in. Because that was like, at that specific pay-per-view, you had... the Ultimate Warrior Ravishing Rude pose down, where fucking Rude hits him with the fucking steel bar and choking him out, and that led to the match at WrestleMania 5. But WrestleMania 5 was like the big one that I was really focused on because just top to bottom, it's still
WrestleMania 5.
Yeah, the Mega Powers Explode main event was Hogan and Savage.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, I could sit there and rattle off the entire card to you. WrestleMania 5, your first is always your favorite.
Yeah, and that's WrestleMania 15 for me.
See, and WrestleMania 5 is mine. Because it was just top to bottom, great card. It breaks my heart that like 75% of the wrestlers on that card are dead now.
Yeah, we actually tried getting. This was actually not too long ago. We tried getting Rick Rude on the podcast. He couldn't make it because he's dead.
I was gonna say, dude, he died in like 2000.
Yeah. I was like, whatever happened to him? So like, I was like looking for his publicist, and I found her, and I sent an email, and she's like, "I'm sorry to inform you, but he's been passed away since for like 17 years." And I was like, "Shit." I was like, "Oh, I meant the other one." And then I'd like, there's no coming back from that.
No.
I was going to be like, "Oh, I sent that email like 15 years ago. Where the hell are you guys?" Yeah. Don't do it. I could seriously do a 5-hour podcast on just that stuff.
Honestly, fuck. I mean, we may end up fucking just shitting the bed just talking wrestling on the next fucking segment.
I'm cool, man. Whatever you want to do.
All right, well, let's go ahead. We'll take a break here. We'll come back with a little bit of Fred G. Sanford and some hot takes and probably some more wrestling talk because I never get to talk wrestling.
Yeah, I do want to talk about what you have written down because I was interested in that. I have a buddy doing it too.
Oh,
so.
the DDP yoga?
Yeah,
that I was trying to get to?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Sorry, we got on a tangent on that.
Yeah, well, hey, that's what the show is.
I know.
It's just an hour and a half long tangent, really. So, okay, we will be right back. This is the Quad M Show. Stay tuned.
Have you checked out quadmproductions.com lately? Quadmproductions.com is your direct access hookup to order Enigma the comic book series and download the Quad M podcast. Check the appearances page for upcoming events and contact us with questions or comments. Don't be the only lonely soul who's missing out on all the fun. Visit us today at quadmproductions.com. That's quadmproductions.com.
Welcome back to the second segment of this here Quad M Show. Once again, we are your hosts. I am TJ.
Andy Mcnamara.
And this segment is brought to you in part by our Amazon Associates link that's located on the quadmproductions.com homepage website. This past holiday season, I'm sure all you kids got your Amazon gift cards and all that type of stuff. And you also, just shop Amazon, period. Who the hell doesn't? Well, before you go in and do all your little shopping sprees type shit, visit us on the quadmproductions.com website. On the left-hand side of that homepage, you're going to see the link. You're going to see the banner that is your portal to Amazon shopping wonderment. Click on that banner. Do your shopping. It's a great way to help support Quad M, our comic book series Enigma, and our podcast, The Quad M Show. Please, 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 before you shop Amazon, click on that banner. God bless. Maybe I shouldn't have brought God into it.
Yeah, we already brought that up.
But something that never gets involved with God is the Fred G. Sanford Award for stupidity. So the first one comes to us from the fine state of New Hampshire. New Hampshire woman doing sword tricks for her ex-husband gets arrested.
You big dummy.
Police say that a New Hampshire woman and her ex-husband suffered cuts in an encounter in which she performed sword tricks and a police officer was struck in the face. Oh, they say apparently they arrested 51-year-old Lisa Bunker of Manchester on this past Monday night after they responded to a possible domestic disturbance involving a sword. They said Bunker accidentally struck herself in the head, causing a cut over her eye. Her ex-husband suffered small cuts on both of his hands trying to remove the weapon.
Don't go ninja, nobody don't need ninja.
Police said Bunker started demonstrating the sword tricks for the police officer, even though she didn't have a sword with her, and struck him in the face.
No.
You big dummy.
Bunker was charged with resisting arrest, simple assault, and reckless conduct. She was being arraigned on Tuesday.
Is drug or alcohol charges going to be a part of that as well?
I would say there's probably some illicit chemical use.
She didn't look like she was a normie or anything like that.
She looked a little bit rough. She looked like she looked like
Charlize Theron in Monster.
In Monster, yeah. There you go. There you go.
I'm a very pretty lady.
Only a lot more wrinkly. A lot more bags under the eyes.
Tan mom.
And this nice huge gaping gash right above that left or that right eye. It was pretty bad.
First off, if you know your ex has a sword, why the hell are you going over there? I know you're probably concerned about them not hurting themselves, but if any of my exes were like, "Hey, come over, I'm going to do sword tricks," that's that's me going, "Yeah, I'm not going to come over."
That's red flag number 1.
Yeah. Number 2, why am I with you? Why do you have a sword? You're going to go fight crime later? There's no reason. This isn't Assassin's Creed.
Maybe. Well, maybe, just maybe, when she was talking about performing sword tricks, he wasn't exactly thinking there was actually going to be blades involved.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Pretty much.
Oh, and okay, so the next one, and this is fantastic, coming to us from California. A woman spotted a rat running around near her feet at Fat's Asian Bistro in Folsom, California. That's not the punchline to this joke. Mm-hmm. Hold on. After notifying the staff, the woman believed she would be speaking to a manager, but instead was handed a receipt by her server with $30.95 knocked off the $123.45 bill for seen rat.
Say what?
For seeing it.
Like literally on the receipt.
Uh-huh.
Where you have item cost, subtotal, surcharges, discounts. Seen rat.
Wow.
It was like literally like this had already been done before, so they had it in the fucking computer. The seen rat button was on the computer.
Joe, man, that's the nastiest thing.
Is California becoming pretty much the New York of rats then on the West Coast? Because when I was in LAX a year ago or so, I was charging my phone, waiting for my flight, and I saw a huge ass rat go running past. I was like,
No
holy
shit.
shit. Dude, it's LAX. All the celebs like hang out there and stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
god, dude. No.
And I know shit. I thought it was like a cat, and it was fucking mouse, dude. It was huge, and like I was trying to get a picture of it to do it justice, but it was like running. It's like the Usain Bolt of rats. But yeah, I saw one at LAX.
Did he tell everybody? Did the rat tell everyone to shut up when the national anthem was playing?
Maybe, I guess. I don't know. I saw that poor bastard got screwed out of his gold too.
Oh, why? What happened there?
His teammates tested positive for performance enhancing drugs.
Oh shit!
From 8 years ago though.
So was that a relay
Yeah.
deal? So he got screwed out of the fucking relay.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
man.
but that was from 8 years ago. Why are they testing them from 8 years ago? There's no reason. It's done. It's over.
Well, it's like fucking Milli Vanilli. They took their Grammy Award 2 years after the fact. So it's what it is.
Yeah, but
And really, we could go on a tangent about the stand-up organization that the IOC is to begin with.
yeah.
But, so anyways, continuing. So Kevin Fatt, the chief operating officer of Fat's Restaurant Group.
PHAT?
No, FAT.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I believe they were Oriental.
Said the incident was highly unusual, as was the note on the receipt. He said the eatery's staff acted appropriately and immediately contacted a pest control firm, which could not find any sign of rats within the building. The Sacramento County Environmental Management Department sent a health inspector who also didn't find any signs of infestation. In quotes, for example, there were no droppings, there were no live or dead bodies, no nesting, no gnawed food packages, the inspector wrote in his report. The inspector also said the customer may have spotted a rat that temporarily sought shelter in the restaurant. He said, I think with the weather, it's possible that one came in, maybe the back door, and maybe wandered around the dining room and was summarily chased back outside. Fat said the company is taking the incident seriously and is attempting to contact the customer who had the experience.
Oh, good for you.
And now their new special is Ratatouille.
How many times do people have to fucking see rats that you actually have that shit in your fucking cash register just to hit the seen rat button?
I don't know. Usually it's those computers that you could type in and it's like, oh, they seen a rat. And that's probably the excuse of why they gave them the discount.
Well, I don't know.
Because working in the restaurant business, I used to have to give discounts all the time. Fucking something. So,
what's this fly doing in my soup? I don't know, the backstroke.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I kind of miss serving sometimes. I never had a rat deal, but I do miss it. I'd always, dude, I loved it because I didn't give a shit. There was times I would like drop off like a dessert, and I'd bring 3 spoons, and they're like, "Oh, I only need 2." I was like, "I'm gonna take a bite." Took a bite, bounced out, man. Bounced out, dude. They loved it. They lose it every time. I'd have to judge the family first, but
before you can play the joke.
Yeah,
sure,
before
right.
I could goof off, swipe a bite, and then they'd leave me $10 on 20. Like, that's what you do. People request me for tables.
We want the funny guy again.
Yeah, we want the fat kid that ate her half her sandwich.
Oh, good Lord. So to you, Kevin Fatt and Lisa Bunker. Congratulations, you two, for winning the coveted Fredgie Sanford Award for Excellence in Stupidity this week.
You dummy!
Let's get into some hot takes, shall we?
And the sign gotta say hot! You gotta say hot! You gotta say hot!
And, first item up for bid. Apparently, Lucasfilm, Disney, whomever the hell we want to talk about, finally released the name of the new Star Wars movie coming out in December. Star Wars, The Last Jedi.
Was that what it's called?
That's what they're calling it. And they showed the new poster and it looks like it's classic Drew Struzan artwork. With the bearded Mark Hamill, which honestly I'll say Mark Hamill looks way fucking better with a beard. Something about the beard. I don't know what it is. You should keep it.
Yeah. I have nothing to say on Mark Hamill at this time.
I think that Facebook post you presented just said enough.
Yeah, I think, I don't think I'll be hearing back from his people anytime soon anymore. How many do they plan on making of these? Like, are they just going to keep going?
From everything that I have seen, heard, and read, they're looking at Disney's wanting to pump out a Star Wars movie a year.
Really?
Which, if they continue to put forth the quality that they have with The Force Awakens, which, don't get me wrong, it was just basically a retelling of A New Hope, and Rogue One. Did you get a chance to see Rogue One?
No, I haven't seen any of the newer ones.
Really? Okay.
The last one I saw was the Jar Jar Binks one. Phantom Menace.
Oh, well, see, that's just, see, you gotta forget that shit. You guys.
And I don't remember any of it.
Good. Traumatic experiences require the repression of said memories.
He does. I think we talked about my obsession with Disneyland. He does show up in the Disneyland ride, though.
No.
Yeah, randomly.
Oh, man.
Because it's not the Paul Rubens robot anymore. Like, they updated the whole entire ride to...
They had a Pee Wee Herman robot?
They had a robot that was voiced by Paul Rubens for, like, the past however long the ride's been around. And he was kind of like your tour guide.
Even despite the masturbation thing?
Disney didn't give a fuck. They had...
Oh, wow.
Priest popping boners in Little Mermaid. You think they gave a shit about the...
Well, I get, maybe if there had been, maybe if there had been those crazed groups back in those days, or if they had advertised it.
Exactly. And, it's not like we had TMZ back in the day, like you're saying.
Right.
No one cared.
They did, because they fucking canceled Pee-wee's Playhouse because of that shit.
Yeah, but he already made 120 episodes. It's not like
it was
you couldn't. Yeah, you never really could tell which one was new and which one was old, dude. We didn't care. My brother and I were in my dad's truck. That's back. He would go fishing, and he'd have that like little TV that you hooked up to a car battery or whatever,
nice.
and we'd just watch that the whole entire time.
That's awesome.
Cherry, the goddamn fucking pterodactyl.
I was all about that fucking Cherry. There was Cherry, there was Terry, there was Blocky, Zombie.
Terry was the pterodactyl, right?
Terry was the pterodactyl.
Awesome.
Cherry, of course, was the chair. Globy was, of course, the globe.
Yeah.
Zombie was the head.
Yeah,
in the
the
box.
genie. Yep.
He was the only character. Like, did you ever see the Pee Wee Herman show? Like, it was the one shot HBO deal.
Oh yeah, back in the early '80s or something like that, wasn't it? Yeah.
And Zombie was the only character that came over.
Yeah, that's
from
true.
Because I think Phil Hartman he was like the sea captain.
Yep.
And I just remember some joke about boobs and no, it's earrings, Pee Wee, and But it was and if I remember correctly, I think Zombie was the only character that came over from that.
I believe you're right on that. They didn't have Cherry. They didn't have any of the puppets, really. I don't think they had that one, like the bully kid. I believe he was in on that. And then they did the. And
there was like the live woman, but I think that was a character that kind of came over. It was a different actress.
It was Ralphie's sister or whatever, and they had the mirror shoes on. And they were trying to look up her skirt.
Right? Yeah.
She was like, "I'm not wearing any underwear." I'm like,
No, yeah. See, I loved that. But of course, the primary thing about Pee Wee's Playhouse was, Lawrence Fishburne.
That's who I was trying to think. I couldn't think of his name. I was like the guy from Matrix.
The Matrix. Fucking Morpheus.
Yeah.
Morpheus with long-ass fucking Jerry curl.
Yeah, dude, he was awesome, man. I think because they just they did a new one, didn't they? Probably within the past 5 years. He was back on stage, and I want to say my brother auditioned for it. I don't remember.
Pee Wee's Playhouse?
Yeah, they redid it. There's a new one out.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the past 5 years or so. He did another stage show. I want to say my brother auditioned for it. I can't remember.
Huh. No, I was not made aware of this.
Yeah, it's on. I believe I didn't have it on DVD, but yeah, Shit, is it on Netflix?
I have no, I haven't seen. The only thing I've seen on Netflix is like episodes of Pee Wee's Playhouse and then Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
And his new one's out. His new movie, Pee Wee's Big Holiday.
Say, okay, so I am like way behind the fucking curve on this shit.
Are you shitting me?
I did not know about a holiday special.
It's not a holiday special. It's a movie with who's the guy that's gonna play Deathstroke in the new?
Oh, God,
Joe.
I can't remember the name. All I can remember is he also played Flash Thompson in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. Joe
Gerzhabaga.
And that's actually a joke in the movie. He
is how to pronounce his fucking name.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to Montilago or whatever. And that's actually a joke in the movie where he's
Nice.
like he says his real name and Pee Wee's like Joe Montoro. Yeah, pretty much exactly. You know, I saw it about a year ago. And I mean, I would have been okay with not seeing it.
Okay.
It's good. It would have been a great story back in the 80s when he could still do the voice, but
Right.
I think he can't really hit that note of Pee Wee anymore.
Sure.
So it's still a deep voice-ish comes out.
I know you are, but what am I?
Pretty much, yeah. There's times where he's not Pee Wee, he's more Paul Rubens.
Right.
And you know, it's a shame. You know, all these.
Well, I mean, it happens. I mean, you know, it's like as a complete fucking veering off of this. Like, I'm the biggest Kiss fan in the world, right? Except for like the anything from like Psycho Circus going forward, I just disavow. You know, I stick with the early shit. But like listening to Paul Stanley sing nowadays, it's rough because he cannot hit those fucking notes.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's that he hasn't taken care of his voice. It's just fucking age, wear and tear. You know, it fucking happens to the best of it.
Banging sluts.
Look at well, you know, Mel Blanc, same way. You look at the later years of when, you know, Mel Blanc was doing the Looney Tunes voices and shit. His voice sounded nothing like the earlier stuff. But I think a lot of that had to do with a car wreck that he was in. And kind of fucked with his voice there. So I don't know.
How the fuck did we go from Star Wars to Pee Wee Herman?
To fucking Paul Stanley losing his voice banging chicks.
Dude. It's like when you're up late at night and you're on your phone and you're like just going through like different YouTube videos. You're like, first I'm gonna watch how to cook a steak, and then like by the end of it, you're watching like some ISIS guy like cut some guy's throat off, and you're like, Jesus Christ!
You're watching anonymous propaganda.
Pretty much, yeah. You're in like some fucking crazy, like just some shit you didn't even see. It's like some guy like French kissing a puppy or something like that.
See, and you know, I love me the YouTube, but it's like I only go to like select things. Like I watch like a shit ton of wrestling shoot interviews or snippets, like fucking anything involving Jim Cornette going on a fucking tangent about shit. I'm all about it.
Shit, I didn't think about him. I should look to see if I can get him.
Fuck, he does everything. I would love to get him on the show, but the fact of the matter is, he's already been fucking everywhere. He's already fucking said everything there is to say about his history.
There's and I'd love to get all those guys on. We went after Mouth of the South, but he
Jimmy Hart wouldn't come on?
Not really, no.
What did you do to piss him off?
I didn't do anything to piss him off. There was let's just say I don't know. Maybe
you really nobody listens to the show. You could be.
I was like, okay, fuck yeah, all right.
Do it. Just do it. Just go.
He pretty much. You don't want that to happen because I'll start freaking out. I'm like, another thing, my family. And then they just go off on my family for some reason. No, the fuck were we talking? Oh,
Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart.
He was like, oh, I thought this was gonna be appearance. I thought you wanted me to come into your studio. I was like, first off, my studio is my apartment, so there's no reason you should come. Like, I don't know how to.
Beers in the fridge, dude.
But yeah, I mean, like, if you want, you can come hang out. Like, you know, like you could do your laundry here, I guess, if you want, with your crazy jackets. Bring your megaphone. No, he wanted a lot of money. Vader wanted a lot of money. you know,
just for like a fucking 10-minute interview, 15-minute interview.
They go, we want X amount of dollars and we can go up to 200 or excuse me, 2 hours. And the X amount of dollars, I'm not going to say over the air, it's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, well, because that's the only way they're making any money now.
Exactly. And then, you know, not to get back into wrestling. No, I love wrestling. Fuck that.
No, we'll be going back into wrestling once we have all of our bases covered here.
Yeah. See, this is how we segue over into your deal.
Goddamn right.
You know, it's sad to see like all these guys start doing this shit, you know, 700. It's like almost like the movie The Wrestler, you know.
You just blurted out the dollar amount.
Did I?
700.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's a lot of fucking money. Dude. I don't give a shit. They're not coming on my show anyways. So I don't care. I'll knock them.
No, well, you know, and yeah, I mean that's the thing. Fucking, they believe it's gonna be fucking paid appearance, and yeah, I mean that's why I've been so leery about want to do the fucking interviews, because you know, how many of these guys are going to sit there and say, well, I will, you know, you know, as opposed to when you had Jake on and it was a fucking cell phone call while he's going through the wilds of Iowa.
No shit. As much as I appreciate him coming on, like you'd think, hey man, like but I guess in the same sense, he's like, fuck it, I'm in the car, I might as well call into this radio show.
Right.
You know? So, you know, yeah, we need to have him back on when he's not driving through the fucking.
Well, was he driving or was someone else driving?
Someone else was driving.
Okay,
he goes and does pretty much a stand-up tour,
right?
And the guy with him has the fucking best job in the world. You get to hang out with Jake the Snake Roberts
Exactly.
when he's sober, you know, and you just sit there and hang out with Jake the whole entire time.
Right.
And he was talking about his guy. I can't think of the guy's name, but he's a hell of a dude. He was like, gosh, he was like 550 pounds or whatever.
Right.
And he's doing the juicing diet. And he lost like 120 in 100 days or something.
I remember hearing about that shit, and I was just like, wow. But well, have you tried getting his savior and mentor DDP on?
No. We stumbled upon something where if you paid Diamond Dallas Page $100, he'll be your voicemail voice.
Oh shit!
Yeah. But like we have his information. We've been trying to get him on because I have a buddy who's doing the DDP yoga as well. Devin, my co-host.
Okay.
And you know, we wanted to get on, talk about that, talk Jake the Snake and all that, because he introduced Jake at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And now DDP's coming in this year, isn't he?
I don't know. I haven't seen. I think I've only seen like one one person that's been, you know, they've said they're putting in the Hall of Fame. For the life of me, I can't even remember who the fuck it is now.
Kurt Angle.
Yes.
And then Kelly's the other one.
Seriously?
Yeah.
What the fuck is she done?
She's cute.
Whoopee fucking shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I hear she's one of the nicest fucking gals ever.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I was watching when her and like Sheamus and somebody else, it was like 2007, 2008. It was maybe like 6 or 7 months after the Benoit thing happened. that was when I quit watching.
Oh, really?
Because it just you know had gone to shit, and I was done.
Okay.
So maybe I missed out on whatever it was that fucking Kelly was doing, but the Hall of Fame. Come on, man.
That Benoit shit fascinates me. By the way,
really?
I don't know why.
Like in what way?
Like, how can I put this without being like having the like fucking
who fucking cares?
Cops coming and be like, hey, we have some questions. It fascinates me in the sense that the guy took so many like hits and stuff in the brain. It fascinates me in this way. The fact that he got hit so many times, the brain was just so messed up he couldn't really.
I think the phrasing that the coroner used was it was similar to a 98-year-old with Alzheimer's.
Correct.
Was how they put it.
Just how taking impacts like that just affects your brain so much that you fucking freak out and kill your family or whatever. Well,
I mean, shit. Okay, here. I mean, prime example. When I was doing the wrestling thing, I had And anyone that fucking says, "Oh, it's all bullshit," no, dude. I had blown out knee, bruised ribs, and a concussion that will tell you otherwise. You know, granted, yes, you know you know what your finish is. If you're a good wrestler, you're calling the match in the ring. You know, you don't have everything fucking mapped out. There's only been one guy that really had everything mapped out and was good at it that way, was Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Okay. But, I mean, fucking a concussion, I think that kind of helped screwed up my eyes, you know, because I've you know, sensitivity to bright lights. I still, to this day, 15 years later, have trouble focusing from time to time. So I'm pretty sure that was just one concussion, you know. So, you know, to that end, I can see where when you figure what Benoit, what his style was, and one of his top fucking, you know, the thing on his move list was that flying headbutt off the fucking top rope. You're doing that every night.
Yeah.
For the better part of 20 years.
Yeah.
20 plus years. Because, like, as a funny little aside, I dated his cousin in high school.
Oh no shit.
She had moved here from Canada, and I, you know, different last name, so you know, I had no idea. And then I had made the comment about wanting to be a pro wrestler when when the time came, and she's like, "Oh well, Chris Benoit's my cousin," and this is before he became a name.
Yeah.
He had, at this point in time, he had just come back to the States from Japan. And this is about 92 or so. And he had just began his career with WCW. And at that time, I think he was predominantly doing tag matches with Bobby Eaton.
Yeah, I remember.
Because, you know, Cornette and Lane had left, and they started doing Smoky Mountain Wrestling at that time. And so that was primarily where he was at. And then I think we were still together for like maybe a month after, and I think that she thought that I was sticking around with her because she was Chris Benoit's cousin.
Oh, I see.
You know, kind of one of those deals, which wasn't the case. She was a fucking sweetheart. I love the gal. She was great. But you know how that type of thing goes. Yeah. You know, people think that you're in it for one reason, and that wasn't the case. But when the Benoit thing happened, it was surreal. It was the Twilight Zone. Because like fucking Raw that week, it was like, you know, the big celebration of Benoit and his career, and you know the wrestlers are telling
Monday.
Stories.
Yeah, right. I remember there was no one in the stadium.
Yeah, well,
they pretty much canceled the show. There was no one in the arena. If you remember, there's not an audience.
Yeah, I mean, it was long enough ago that I don't, you know, all I remember was, you know, everyone's and I had not heard about this until, you know, Raw that night. You know, it was this whole celebration of Benoit and everything that he had done. And, you know, the wrestlers, of course, giving their stories, talking about how helpful he was as a mentor and a tutor and helping him in the ring and outside of the ring and all this type of stuff. And, blah, blah. And then the next day, because they had that ECW show, you know, it was like Monday was Raw, Tuesday was ECW, and then like Thursday or Friday was SmackDown. Yeah. And like in ECW, they started retracting all this shit. Like McMahon goes out and he's like, "Oh, based on everything that we've heard at this point in time that we're understanding, we're going to go ahead and we're going to refrain from all this." And then that's when they started wiping him clean from anything involving, you know, the past.
I didn't realize it was on ECW. I remember like watching it, and then like Chris Benoit died. I was like, "Oh shit!" And then immediately you start going, "Okay, well Eddie Guerrero just died a year ago, so he must have had a massive heart attack. The guy's yoked, so he's taking steroids, so something happened."
Right.
And then you find out all this horrible shit, and I think, you know, Vince McMahon kind of was like, "All right." And I don't think he really should have done it on ECW. I think he should have just called a press conference and been like, "Listen, what happened last night, we didn't know." And I'm completely... And I think he ended up actually doing it like a week later, going, "You know what? I'm sorry that this happened. We didn't know anything that was going on, and this won't happen again. You won't ever hear Chris Benoit named in our..."
Right. And I can see where, like, a lot of his, where the stance comes from. Okay, I'm probably going to get some heat for this.
Boom.
Look how quick he was able to sweep the whole Jimmy Snuka murdering his girlfriend under the carpet.
Yeah.
clean slate. Nobody knows a damn thing. We're just gonna put this, we'll shove it away, and then get him out of there, but then bring him back 5 years later.
Yeah.
Same thing here.
Speaking of which, not to cut you off, did they do anything recently since he passed away? He passed away 3 weeks ago?
About a month. Well, you know what? I have the list here because this was supposed to be one of the topics on the hot takes.
Oh, we could hit it. We'll get to your DD yoga sometime this month, man.
Maybe I'll do that as my pick of the week for the third segment.
There you go. Then we'll get on another tangent about fucking wrestling.
No, he died on the 15th.
Yeah, I figured it was a few weeks ago.
15th of this month was when he finally died. But he was already in the Hall of Fame.
He was, yes.
So if anything, they probably had one of those little, tributes on Raw.
Yeah, and I know
that type of shit.
I saw my hero, Mick Foley. He posted something. He's like, I don't know what happened as far as that. Only, Snuka and whoever else was at the murder scene, whatever, knows what happened. I'm not going to comment on that. I'm just going to comment on the guy that I knew.
Right. Well, Jim Cornette kind of basically said the same thing. He was like, I honestly, I know Jimmy Snuka, hell of a good guy, hell of a nice guy. There might have been some domestic shit that gone on, but I don't see him as being, the guy that would do that, or whatever it be. And again, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I had the pleasure of meeting Jimmy Snuka when I was working a show in Jersey, or it was actually in Atlantic City. And I was shocked and amazed that he came up to about here on me. I thought he would have been taller. Yeah. Softest hands on a man that I've ever shook hands with.
Yeah, you're going to want to edit that.
No. It was, but he just comes up and, get very, very light grip. But I've also heard that he works very soft. He was great to work with in the ring. He would take care of you.
I wonder if that's a wrestling thing, by the way.
The soft hand?
Yeah.
Yes. Because that's basically showing that, you can work soft. You can work well. It's kind of one of those.
Because when I shook Chris Masters' hands this year, that dude's a house. By the way, last summer, I shook his hand, nothing. Yeah. Not even. I was like, that guy's a wimp.
Yeah, and that's not what. Yeah, and that's not what that is. That's basically like it's like a work. It's a working handshake. It's a you can trust. You can trust. That I'm not gonna fucking break you in half when we're in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just, Snuka comes, we're sitting there talking, and, Snuka's kind of making the rounds a little bit, and I was like, oh, Mr. Snuka, it's an honor to meet you, fan of your work, blah, blah. Hey, how's it going, brother? Oh, and he walks off, and then, another guy from the wrestling school that I was at, he comes up and he's like, yeah, my brother sees him like all the time at the grocery store that he works at. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, all he ever does is buy fucking steaks and cigarettes.
That's awesome, man.
I'm like, that's a fucking wrestler right there.
I know. That's awesome.
We'll go ahead here. We will take our final break, but we'll come back with a little bit of Reddit fun and picks of the week, which I think will just be the one so we can get on the tangent of what we were going to talk about.
Like I said, between 10:30, I'm good, man.
Yeah, so now we're good to go. So we will go ahead. We will take our break. We will come back. Stay tuned. This is the Quad M Show.
In a city where corruption rules the streets, only one man can stop the serial killer known as the Blood Bandit. James Kurt, a former police officer turned private investigator, must race against the clock to stop the madman before he achieves his ultimate diabolical goal. When JK's brother Alex is thought killed in the line of duty and mysteriously returns with no memory of his past life, the stakes are raised even higher. Enigma, the comic book series from Quad M Productions, written and illustrated by TJ Damon, with colors and effects by Jason Vickers. Enigma. Order your copy at quadmproductions.com today.
Hello and welcome to TJ's Bowling Scores for the Week. I'm Connie Leangus. This week the Village Idiot rolled a 139, a 126, and a 145 for a 410 series. Good lord, TJ, are you ever going to make any effort in improving your bowling? I swear sometimes I'm surprised you remember how to breathe. If you were any fucking dumber I'd have to water you twice a day. Well, I suppose I'll let these two jackasses get back to rambling about fucking wrestling again. Until next time, this is Connie Linus. Fuck you and good night.
Welcome back to the third and final segment of this, the Quad M Show. Once again, we are your hosts. I am TJ.
Andy Mcnamara.
All right.
Dude, love it.
So this segment of the Quad M Show is brought to you in part by Deeply Dapper. Hey, are you looking for that one-of-a-kind gift for the geek who has it all? Maybe a little something out of the ordinary for yourself? Well, look no further than Deeply Dapper. Ranging from The Walking Dead to Doctor Who to Labyrinth to Star Wars and well beyond, Deeply Dapper has it all. From original art prints to metal flasks, handcrafted light switch plates and key hangers to handmade soaps, all based on your favorite Nerd World properties. Visit the online store today at deeplydapper.com. That's deeplydapper.com. Deeply Dapper, better living through tentacles.
What? So they just... Is it like one of those box things that sends your shit? Or is it you just go on the website with like, oh, I like Labyrinth. I need a Hoggle flask.
Yeah. Well, okay, So this guy who runs Deeply Dapper, he's a buddy that I actually met when I was working the convention here in Helena. Working the NagaCon, and started
What is it?
bullshitting
What
back
is
and
it
forth.
called?
NagaCon.
NagaCon?
It's an anime deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an anime thing. But so got to bullshitting with him back and forth, and it's funny how when you're working conventions, you come to find out that you end up meeting people who all work the same circuit.
Yeah.
It's much like wrestling in a territory back in the territory days.
Or doing magic, and because I used to be a magician, so I know how it goes.
Right. And we sit there and all of a sudden we're comparing notes because he had been to like 3 or 4 conventions we were at, previously. Talking about how much, the Vegas show sucked, how great Salt Lake is, how great Portland was. He was at those shows as well. And so then it just kind of, stemmed from there. And then the mutual buddy friendship, jerking each other off, just kind of fucking,
Oh, you have one of those
went
friendships
from
too.
there. Yeah. That's a secret convention handshake. You just grab each other's fucking elephant trunk there and, give her a wiggle. Just you do it softly. You give that working handshake.
To give the trust.
I'm not going to hurt you.
Yeah. I'm just going to love you, man. I'm just going to love you.
But, and also, too, kids, be aware. He recently has set up his Deeply Dapper stuff that you can purchase his stuff on Amazon. So feel free, if you're going to make a purchase of Deeply Dapper products on Amazon, go through the Amazon Associates link on the Quad M homepage, quadmproductions.com. See how I do that?
Yeah, that's good.
I'm good at that.
Yeah.
I'm real good at that.
We're just good at getting cease and desist letters. So
not from him. No, not
cool.
from him. But something we're also really good at. That is Reddit fun this week without Jason.
And just real quick, if he's listening, he's our new sponsor now. So
Who, Jason?
no, not that guy. The Deeply Dapper.
Well, yeah, he's been our sponsor since day one.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he just now become ours, so we can sound more professional.
for the Andy Mac show.
Yeah.
You know what? I think he'll be okay with that.
I think if we have Montana Eye Care. No.
What? Seriously?
No, not Montana Eye Care. Montana Eye Repair.
Okay.
They fix iPhones.
Oh shit!
Not the fucking, not the
eye
actual,
doctor?
not the actual optometrist or fucking.
It's getting late. Andy's getting tired.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it really is. Man.
That monster energy drink's kind of fading out.
No, it's working really good, dude. Like I said, I just haven't slept the past few weeks because of the ghosts and shit. But my heart's moving a mile a minute right now, so that's good.
All right. Well, let's go ahead here since I've already done the introduction to the thing. What do the Redditors have for us this week?
This question is, what is the riskiest topic to bring up on a first date?
And who posted it and how long ago?
2 hours ago by According to JP. What's up, JP?
What's up, Jape? What's up, Jeep?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start this off. Riskiest thing to bring up on a first date. You know how earlier we were talking about the magic 3 that you don't discuss?
Yeah.
Somehow, inevitably, they always want to bring up ex-girlfriends. Why are you single? What happened? And I am the one person I hate talking about my exes. Because I'm very much they're the past. you're the president, baby.
Yeah.
You know, but they always want to fucking talk exes. And that to me is just, I hate doing it. And eventually I end up doing it. And then it comes out, they end up knowing, because, you know, Helena, it's such a fucking incestuous town. Everybody fucking knows everybody.
Yeah.
So eventually they find out who one of my exes is, and then they go start digging.
Yeah.
That to me, that's the riskiest right there on a first
Why'd
date.
you guys break up? Oh, you had a toe fungus. That's why it was done.
Bitch had a hammer toe.
Yeah, this shit. No, you're right. It sucks to date in a small town like this because everyone knows everything, and then people start digging. Mm-hmm. You know, and then that's how rumors get spread. There was at one point in time, so I had an ex-girlfriend said I used to do math. I don't even fucking know how to do math. I don't even know what it looks like. I've never been one of drugs or anything like that. But
no offense. No offense. You clearly are not somebody that smokes meth.
No. No, absolutely not, dude. Yeah. Well, this was 3 years ago when I was a little less fat, but it's still that. It's still like, it's like, wow. Are you retarded? Like, and yeah, it's bad. People are funny in this town. I guess favorite scene from a porn would be one that I don't want to talk.
Favorite scene from a porn.
Yeah.
You know, let's read it.
Just start rattling off names like you know it. So like, well, there's that Anna girl. She's good. She's some sort of Latina. And then, she's good in like the MILFs and the Latina maids and all that stuff. And then there's Rosie. She's good in like girl next door type stuff. She's probably my favorite, easily top 3. Yeah. If you want a Mount Rushmore of porn girls, I'm gonna go. All right, Janet Jameson is one.
Porn talent from the 80s and early 90s.
I mean, everyone knows Ron Jeremy.
Well, fuck, he's been around since the goddamn 70s.
Yeah.
And he's probably the most mainstream of all of them.
That guy's dead, isn't he?
Ron Jeremy? Fuck no.
He had a stroke.
He had a heart attack like a year ago.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. And they were saying like, oh, he's dead. He's dead. They're like had him in the furnace getting ready to start his ashes. And he's like, I'm fine.
No, I'm alive.
Yeah.
I'm fine. So, okay, let's get back into the fucking rat. Let's see. What else do people have to say is the riskiest thing to say on a first date?
Herpes.
And that was posted by?
Yeah, probably should say that too, huh? Gay jokes / come on, guys.
Gives us herpes.
The fact that your mother ruined your 38th birthday by insisting you start paying rent. That's like People will say politics, religion, marriage, future children, etc. If you're comfortable with bringing any of these topics up first thing, and they aren't, you two weren't compatible anyway. That's from Artemis H4X.
Artemis, you don't bring any of those up on a first fucking date.
No, I had a girl. This was a while back. This is when I first moved to Helena. Her and I went on a date, and she asked me what religion I was, and I think that's where things went south after that.
Oh,
she asked me. She was like straight, like full on Christian. I was like, I'm Catholic. Oh, well, did you know this and that and this and that about the Catholic Bible?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, listen, I barely remember how to take communion, and
I'm just in it for the crackers and the wine.
Yeah, no kidding. He's like, the wine's delicious. The cardboard fucking Christ checks that they give you beforehand, I'm not a fan of it. Always rule from. Oh yeah, don't talk about rape.
That's always a solid one to go with.
Abortion or economics. Someone gives something 24 gives here's think of Ford: family, occupation, recreation, dreams. That's what you should think on a first date. Ford. Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Tell me about your family. What's your occupation? What do you like to do when you're not at your occupation? And
what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah, everything in porn. Oh, The sloth bear, anal.
Oh, look out! Sit down!
Just the sloth bear.
Yeah, the pros of date rape. That's according to JP too.
That's riskiest thing to bring up. Does this smell like chloroform to you?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Devil does it. Funeral planning. That's nuclear holocaust. I don't. These are lame. Armpit farts. That's according to JP too. What's up, JP? Let me see if there's another one.
Well, we can wrap this up early and just talk wrestling for the next 10 minutes. I'm good with that too. Let's go ahead here, good sir, and picks of the week for the week this week. Anything you want to bring up?
You go first. I think we did this last time. I was trying to think of something.
Well, honestly, babe, pretty much all we're going to do is sit here and talk. Now, we've kind of wanted to start talking about it, but we end up veering off course. My pick of the week is the DDP yoga. What's the snort for?
Dude, remember when he first came to WWE?
Oh, yeah.
And he was like stalking Undertaker's wife?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get you not to talk about it, so I don't just to get it back into wrestling. See if we could just. I want you to talk about it, but I'm just trying to see how many times we could steer away from the actual topic.
Steer away from it, dude. It's not going to take very long. It's not going to be very difficult.
I was just trying to think of something.
Well, here's basically what it amounts to is the fact I've been doing this for about a month now. I started it right after the new year, and it's really an ass kicker. You know, they start you off. I mean, like fucking, I bought the deluxe like fucking deal. You get like your initial 6-disc pack.
You get the shirt and the.
Oh God, no!
No,
I don't do the merch. No,
that's a bummer.
I don't buy the gimmicks.
I just like to see you in front of your TV with your DDP yoga shirt on, fucking doing the
DDP yoga shirt with the DDP headband.
Dude, yeah, you're doing like we go up to the diamond and then we Hulk out.
Yeah. Well, no, and yeah, I do. You do that.
Yeah.
The key thing is,
I saw the infomercial at like 3 a.m. It was awesome.
But I tell you, it's like the first two programs that I'm doing. They have the one that's called Energy and the one that's called Fat Burner. And the first time doing them, it takes a little bit. You're definitely working up a sweat. But me, because I'm already like in some level of shape, because I go to the gym, hit the weights, all that type of shit. I started today was, as a matter of fact, the first day where I started double stacking them.
The weights?
No. Doing the Energy and the Fat Burner like all in one shot.
Okay. Is that what you're supposed to do?
Well, they say you can pretty much do it however you want. So I doubled. Oh man, it was fucking outstanding afterwards. I mean, I'm just like fucking drenched in sweat. But let's go talk about DDP the stalker, shall we?
Yeah, no kidding, right? No, I didn't. I was paying attention, which is fascinating. I was trying to get a pick of the week, and I think you found it. But yeah,
don't even worry about it. Let's talk DDP before. Let's end it with talk about this.
Well, real quick, I believe he's coming on our show this week. It's Bill Burr. Walk Your Way Out. Watch him on Netflix. September, January. What the hell was that?
I have no idea.
I think I just had a stroke on your fucking show. It's Bill Burr, Walk Your Way Out. It's set to premiere January 31st. You can see that on Netflix. It's his 5th hour-long special, which is amazing. He's doing a sold-out crowd in Nashville. He talks about sinking cruise ships, celebrity fat shaming, and how health fast food is a bullshit notion. Also, if you check out his cartoon, which is on Netflix as well. It's called F is for Family. It's probably the smartest cartoon I've ever seen in my whole time. It's fucking phenomenal.
Bill Burr's a funny cat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There was over at one of the local bars here. I want to say it was like not the Rocks Western, but it was the Gold Dust.
Mm-hmm.
No, the Gold Bar. The Gold Bar is the one downtown, right? Yeah, because we got to see here, kids. We got the Gold Bar and the Gold Dust. Gold Bar is the one downtown, and they had like 3 stand-up comedians, We were there supporting one of them because he was a local guy that was trying to help, get the shit promoted. And it was, a couple, they weren't any like major names or anything like that.
Yeah.
But, after the one got done with his set, he came out and I was bullshitting with him, having a smoke and we were bullshitting. And he was the one that hit me to Bill Burr. Mm-hmm. And went on YouTube, and it was a video where he was dealing with a heckler.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like a 15 minute, it was like a 2-part video. Because it went so long that he was just fucking.
Was it just one heckler, or was it the whole entire fucking?
I think the crowd got into it.
Yeah, it was the one. Was it the Philadelphia one?
It could have been.
That's like comedy, like lore. Like that's the fuck where like the whole entire he was opening up for. He was opening up for like the Rolling Stones or someone.
Yeah, like,
it was someone ridiculous. He was opening up for. I'd say the Rolling Stones, but it could have been like Shania Twain or something.
Right.
But like. The crowd just goes nuts, and he's just shitting on the crowd, shitting on Philadelphia.
He is just blistering their ass.
My favorite line, he was like, God, fucking Philadelphia, you guys all cheer for a fake boxer. And dude, it's the best, man.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, Bill Burr is fucking fantastic. You're getting him on the show.
I believe so. That's why I was looking at my phone. His agent texted me and was like, what time?
Oh, okay, right on.
So I was like, fuck, it's Bill Burr, whatever time he wants to come on.
Well, when that goes down, shoot me a link. I would love. Well, you'll probably do it just like you did with the Jake the Snake deal, right?
Yeah, I think that was on accident though. What I text you, or you mean on Facebook?
Just on Facebook.
Yeah, that was on accident. I should have never went to Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't want people to check it out?
I think I wanted to like kind of edit it first and kind of look at it. And listen to it.
All right.
But then there's a situation where you go, I don't even know what the fuck he said, and I was listening to it. Like I was right there. So like I was like, fuck it.
Hey, that's the beauty of showbiz.
Because usually our unedited version goes on Twitter immediately just to
get it out there.
Yeah, just something to do. If you want to listen to the pauses, great. If you don't, listen, go on, follow us on Facebook, and you can listen to it. But yeah.
Yeah, because after you posted that Jake the Snake interview, man, I immediately shot you the text going, great interview, but man, it didn't sound. It was a great interview, it just didn't sound great.
Yeah, and it wasn't. I think that was more him driving through the hills of Iowa.
Well, yeah, no, it was the phone on his end that kept cutting out. But of course, there's those beautiful pauses of shuffling paper. What question do we ask now? That's my favorite.
Because we usually have a set deal, and then one of us will go off a tangent and be like, "Oh, like what's your favorite color?"
Right.
Like, and then we're like, "Oh shit, that was a part of the plan, man." Or he'll start talking too long. Like I said, I think I told on the lot when we had Bruce Buffer, the ring announcer for the UFC. He came on. We had a list of like 15 questions. And immediately knocked them all out, like within the first 30 seconds. We're like, shit. So then we were asking them like personal questions, like how much money have you won and stuff like that. Gambling.
And that's where that's probably where like me as an interviewer, I would probably not get too many people coming back to the show because the first thing I would ask is how awkward is Thanksgiving with Michael?
Yeah. Well, they're stepbrothers, so like it's I don't know. I believe we did ask something about that, and he didn't say they really saw each other a whole lot.
Well, because he got Michael sued Bruce, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, no, he sued. Yeah, because Bruce was fucking using the "Let's Get Ready to Rumble."
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Yeah, because he was using the "Let's Get Ready to Rumble," and fucking Michael Buffer's got that shit copyrighted.
Oh yeah.
So he fucking sued he sued Bruce.
That's amazing.
Telling him not to fucking use it.
Huh.
And that's where like I said, that's where I would have been the fucking awkward cat going, how awkward,
Yeah. Well, we said something. He was like, he's good. I was like, oh, okay. Next question.
And it was dealt with accordingly.
Pretty much, yeah.
But you can definitely see why with going back to DDP, why they ended up like at first he was like the evil stalker.
Yeah.
But then they switched him over to being a fucking motivational speaker.
Yeah, they did. I remember that kind of. But that was also at the end of his career where he really didn't give a shit. But he didn't. He was always at the end of his career because he started at WCW when he was like 34, 35, I believe.
Well, actually, he started back in the AWA.
Yeah, that's right.
Initially, I was watching some of the old videos from that with his stonewashed jean jacket and long curly hair, going, "Good God," and all that type
and
of shit.
Kimberly was walking out with him or whatever.
I don't remember if she was with him in AWA
Because she was a Nitro girl, wasn't she?
Yeah, but I don't remember if she was coming out with him in the AWA days when he started.
She wasn't.
Yeah, because when he started in WCW, I think he was managing Scott Hall right from the outset, but I'm not sure. Because Scott Hall at that time was the Diamond Stud.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I remember that, but then I don't remember a damn thing about his career up until like the NWO era started.
Oh, when he tag team with Carl Malone and Hogan had Dennis Rodman.
God.
Because DDP and Carl Malone ran out when Goldberg and Hulk Hogan were going at that Nitro where Goldberg wins the title and all the people, the fucking nut jobs in Atlanta start throwing shit onto the fucking ring. That was awesome, man.
But you can definitely tell, like here again, going back to that, you can definitely tell he is like a natural fucking like motivational up with people speaker. Did you watch that Resurrection of Jason?
I did. Oh yeah, quite a few times. Yeah.
God, I mean that was some good shit.
It was.
Now a lot of it, I mean, there's some shit that they could have not have done, like the little schmaz at the very end with DDP and Jake and Scott Hall in the fucking ring.
I don't remember.
It's the very end, and they're sitting there talking it was like really horribly bad reality TV. Like say when you're watching Mythbusters, and they're sitting there talking about what are we going to do for this? Well, maybe we could. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
it's supposed to seem natural, but
like
it just
Pawn
felt
Stars type shit.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I do remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, and we could have done without that. That to me was way too fucking scripted. Stick with the reality. Just give me the soft music and all that. Show the picture of Jake looking longingly out into the distance in his future, and then have like Jake has since done blah 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 blah. Cut it to DDP. Diamond Dallas Page is now the proprietor and
that guy's never gonna have to work again.
Still practicing yoga.
Yeah,
still practicing yoga to this day. Scott Hall is just doing shoot interviews along the East Coast.
yeah. We tried getting him on too. We haven't heard anything back from him. So, but we'll keep you posted. I think our next, if we can get Burr, then our next guest is Jerry Buting, the lawyer from The Making a Murderer.
Oh, the Iceman? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Making a Murderer? It's that documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
He's the guy. He's Stephen Avery's lawyer.
Right.
He's the taller one.
Stephen Avery is what? Am I thinking the guy they call the Iceman?
No.
Okay. So I'm thinking something totally different.
Yeah, you're off your fucking rocker.
Because I'm so well versed in serial killers.
Man. That's kind of creepy. If you get the chance, watch it on Netflix. It's pretty fascinating documentary. It's 8 episodes.
Okay.
Oh no, there's a handful of episodes.
Sure.
But it's fascinating. It's about a guy who wrongly went to jail. He was convicted of rape, and the girl just was like, "Oh, it looked like him, but it's turned out not being him."
Oh, fuck.
Gets released, right?
Don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah, no shit. Gets released, and then like a year later goes back to jail, and there's like all this like crazy like, oh, we think the cops planted evidence. He was like in this like civil trial with the police department of some town in Wisconsin.
Sure.
And he was in a civil trial. He's thinking he's getting $5, $6, $7 million, whatever. He ends up getting put in jail for the disappearance of a girl. He owns a salvage yard. They find a truck, her vehicle. They're saying it's his blood. There's a bunch of fucking crazy shit going on with it. I think he did it. He's a scumbag, but like, it's just a very fascinating documentary. Check that out. Seriously. do
Dude,
it.
you got like 3 fucking picks of the week. Look at you.
Yeah, dude, I'm on fire. What else?
What else do we got?
What the fuck else do we got here? Yeah, no, do that. Also, another pick of the week, dude, for all the fucking time too.
Well, let's go ahead. We can wrap this bitch up. As I always ask, do we have anything left to pimp, promote, propagate, or pander for the evening?
Andy Mac Show, Facebook, Facebook, Andy McNamara, and then AJ Mac 721 at Twitter. There's also some talks, so we might have to come on and promote some upcoming shows in town too. So,
well, and like I say too, I mean, right now, not to overstep boundaries or anything like. But like I say, possibly, you and I will be in talks as far as maybe having the Andy Mac Show on as a permanent Quad M family member.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, yeah, definitely. I'll talk about with the co-host and everything like that.
Oh yeah, we got to get all the clearances. But,
yeah.
Like I said, we
always do.
We can kind of tickle the balls on that one. We
Yeah.
can give him a little something to look forward to.
It'd be WWE buying WCW since we've been talking about wrestling. It's pretty much what it is right now. So,
God damn it, I'm Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, and I'll come out and be Shane McMahon. I'm like, that name is mine on the contract, dude. That was the best, man. One of these days we should just get together, fucking turn on the mics, and just talk wrestling.
I don't know what his.
I think like we
schedule
pretty
is
much
next week.
we pretty much did it today. But I'm just saying, just the whole entire fucking show, no breaks, just go, just keep going.
We'll fucking do it.
I do. I love. Not to like. Not. I don't like the breaks because then I'm like, fuck. I don't.
Well,
I don't because I don't want to like go downstairs and talk to you and then ruin something.
Right.
Like I hate that.
But here's the thing though. I can always edit the breaks in.
Oh, that's true too.
See, I can always do that.
Yeah, that's true.
We can do like a whole straight hour and 45 minutes, and I can always put the breaks in.
Oh yeah, no, Devin. It's like that's what Devin. We'll just sit there, and there's times where we'll be talking about something. I was like, well, we need a podcast, and I'll set my phone in between us, and it's back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Then I'll edit the intro in and everything like that at a later date. And I'm like, dude, that was fucking. I didn't even know we were podcasting. Oh yeah, well that was probably illegal what I did. We were podcasting.
Well, you notified him about it afterwards.
Yeah, no
so that
shit.
counts. All right, well, kids, go ahead here. And that will wrap it up for this week's episode of the Quad M Show. Hey, gang, don't forget, rate, review, and subscribe us on iTunes and Stitcher. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on the Twitter at Quad M Comics. Until next week, this is TJ.
Andy McNamara.
Which hey, if Jason's not here, next week, it's the wrestling show.
Boom.
It's the wrestling show. All right.
Fuck yeah, I'll wear my NWO shirt.
Until next week, we'll talk to you later, kids. Take care.
You've been listening to Quad M Show, copyright 2017, Quad M Productions. If you have any comments, questions, queries, quibbles, concerns, or just have something funny to say to us, feel free. Email us at quadmcomics@gmail.com or send us a tweet at quadmcomics.
Did you ever watch the Joe Schmo show?
Yes.
That was my favorite.
Loved that show.
That was my favorite. That was actually our first guest was, the hell's his name? It's Rogan. It's not Joe Rogan.
Right, yeah. No. So the guy that was...
Yeah, the contestant on it. He came on our show, yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, he was on. One of the writers was on. Dude, we had fun, man. That was like our first big guest 3 years ago.
Oh, that's outstanding.
I think we still have it, actually, in our library.
In the archives?
Yeah.
In the Andy Mac vault?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so, at least. Yeah, he was really awesome. He talked about the show. He's like, I shouldn't tell you this, but I only ended up getting like 60,000 out of the 100,000 after taxes and everything. I was like, well,
that's how that works. I mean,
yeah,
that's,
exactly. Yeah, he's super nice guy. He started talking about grass for some reason, not like the weed,
like lawn clippings.
Yeah.
Oh God, what does he do? Landscaping work for?
Yeah, yeah, he does.
Really?
Yeah, he got like on a tangent about like Kentucky bluegrass, and I was like, what the hell are we supposed to? because he's talking about almost living in Montana.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, he's like, I had a job at Big Sky for
Big Sky, the ski resort? Or not the ski. It's not a ski resort, but
yeah, there's a golf course over there, I guess.
Okay.
And he was telling us how he had some sort of deal set up for him to work at the golf course or something. I don't know.
No shit.
Yeah. It was after he was talking 10 minutes about Kentucky bluegrass. We kind of